ChatGPT has a new feature called Canvas, and with it you can build literally anything, from articles to websites to games to 3D animations. If you aren't using Canvas, then pay attention, because this single feature will save you hours of your life. Now, to use Canvas, simply go to ChatGPT, go to the top left, click on the model and select GPT-4o with Canvas. Then you can simply type in your prompt. I'm gonna say draft a short blog post from the key insights in this book. Use Canvas feature. And then I'm going to drag in a PDF of a book. In the moment, I'll show you how to use it for coding. But now, as you can see, you can use it for articles, blog posts, homework, really anything. And the editing features here are just so amazing. So as you can see, the UI has changed completely. On the left, we have the chat, and on the right, we have the actual canvas. And here, you can edit it in so many ways. So for example, you can highlight the text, make it a heading. You can make an entire paragraph bold. Now, let's say I don't like this paragraph. I say, this paragraph is too short. Include more examples. Enter. And now ChatGPT will rewrite this paragraph exclusively. Now this is only the beginning, because at the bottom right, we have the Canvas button, which has different features based on what you're doing. So for writing articles or for editing text, we have add emojis, add final polish, reading level, so you can change how difficult it is to read, and adjust the length. So let's try adding some emojis. I'm not sure when you would use this feature, but hey, it is there. So let's say, okay, I'm gonna stop it. And what if I don't like it? Well, there is a simple button to go to the previous version. You can always go back, so you can click on restore this version, so you don't have to worry when you make a bad edit. Now, let's say I want to change the reading level, okay? I want to make it super simple, kindergarten. Let's see what ChatGPT does rewriting this book to kindergarten level. Okay, so it is obviously a lot simpler. But as I said, editing text is just the tip of the iceberg of what the Canvas feature can do. Now, let me show you how to actually build code with it. This is an example I saw on Twitter. Write a code to visualize a 4D tesseract in Three.js. So this is the Canvas UI. It's split into the chat section and the code, and you can see it writing the code in real time. So this is the very similar in terms of cursor, and actually this could be, OpenAI's way of competing with cursor. But basically here we have the code, and one thing that's missing from Canvas is actually running the code, but I'll show you how to do that in a moment. And then I'm gonna ask, how can I actually see this in action? So just like cursor, you can chat with it in the chat mode, and it will rewrite the code here. There's also a button on the bottom right, which I'll go into a bit. As you can see, there's comments, logs, fix bugs, port to a language, and code review. So here we have a local server set up. I'm just gonna ask, how do I do it with Replit? So all the code you have here, there's this copy button on the top right. You can just copy it right away, and you can deploy it either locally, but I think with Replit it's easier. So replit.com is the site. This is basically a super easy way to prototype and learn how to code and deploy code. So what I'm gonna do is create a new REPL, and then let's follow the instructions that ChatGPT tells us. Create a REPL, select HTML, CSS, JS template, okay. So let's find that, HTML, CSS, JS. Let's do that. And then here, I can simply, name the demo. So I can do like new society call demo, and I can make it public. So, you can guys try it as well. So let's create the REPL.
Right now you're making it in Replit. So are there any other possibilities for deploying it?
Now, if you're wondering, what is that call and how can I be on it? Well, this is one of the weekly calls we do in the new society. So when you go to the calendar section, you can see the calls we're doing. So right now we're doing every Saturday and every Wednesday, and this was the Saturday call we did yesterday. So if you want to be on the calls where you can ask me anything and have inputs on future videos, make sure to join the new society. It's the first link in the description. Yeah, of course, Replit is usually good for small and medium projects. For proper deployment, probably Heroku is really good. Maybe you can also use Streamlit for simple apps, like machine learning apps. Streamlit also nice, but yeah, probably Heroku is what I would recommend. So as you can see, this is a simple IDE environment, right? We have files on the left, then we have the code, and then we have a AI tab, web view tab, where we can see hello world. This is what we have right now. And then a shell, which is basically a terminal. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this code and I'm gonna tell it to change it for me, right? So let's go back to ChatGPT. Here is what my index.html looks like right now. Rewrite it for me, and then click on copy and paste it inside. So let's highlight this, copy this, save. I'm gonna tell it I've done these two steps. I've done these 2 steps so far. What's next? create the JavaScript file, tesseract.javascript. Okay, let's copy this name. On the left in the files, click on new file, tesseract.js. Let's go back into ChatGPT. In the repo, create a new tesseract.js, paste the JavaScript code I provided. Here I can copy the current version and paste that in here. All right, we did that, and then run the Replit project. Okay, so I guess that's that. Let's go back to Replit, click on big green button, run, and let's see. Right now, we should be in the web view, I think. Let me expand this. Does anything happen? So we have a white screen. Okay, tell me how to change the JS file. Actually, change it for me. So as you can see, it opens the JavaScript file and starts running that out. Bottom right has a button that expands into 5 different features. Add comments, add logs, fix bugs, port to a language, and code review. So, add comments is kind of obvious. We can click it and see what happens. It goes through the file and adds helpful comments everywhere. So as you can see, it's going and just explaining everything it did. This is very helpful, especially when you're a beginner, so you can understand what each part does. So that's that. Let's test out the second button, add logs. In this case, okay, so yeah, this is basically putting logs for the console, meaning we will get a lot more input on what's happening, and that lets us debug and see like which parts get stuck and which parts are completed. So right now it might actually be useful because in the console we don't see much. When we have the logs, we will see, let's say you have 3 different logs and 2 of them appear, the error is somewhere between number 2 and number 3 because number 3 did not appear. So, okay, fix bugs. This one I haven't tested. Let's see, fix bugs. I wish you could like describe the bug. I mean, as you can see here, it says, I reviewed the code and no bugs were found. Port to a language, let's see. Oh, nice, this is good. So you can basically turn it into a different language. So we have PHP, C++, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, and Java. Let's do Python and how that works. Tesseract visualization in Python. Maybe it'll be easier to make that in Python actually. Let's just try it, right? Let's go back to Replit. Let's try to create a new REPL. Let's go home, new REPL. Let's do Python template. Boom. I'm gonna say Tesseract attempt to create. Let's go into main.py, the main Python file. Paste in the code ChatGPT gave us, and let's run it. Not sure if that's enough or not. I guess we'll see. We don't have the import, so that's definitely not enough. Okay, let's go back and say, I want to run this Python code in Replit. Tell me how. We also need to import the necessary packages. Maybe it's better to actually switch, when you're like switching code, to switch to a different canvas, because it could be confusing. Oh, wait, we see something. Okay, never mind. I guess we don't need the libraries and stuff. Wait, let me make this full screen. This is pretty good. So this is obviously a 3D representation of a tesseract, which is a 4D object. So that's why it looks like so trippy. But yeah, this is built with ChatGPT Canvas.
Yeah, we actually got a suggestion in chat by Yassine, a neural network animation.
Okay, Yassine. Okay, let's do that. Neural network animation. So I'm gonna say, I want you to help me build a simple neural network animation and deploy it on Replit. Boom. Let's do that. All right, so let's see. Project overview, we'll use Python, matplotlib, so this is a library. But again, if you didn't know it existed, this is not a problem, Canvas, ChatGPT Canvas told us to use this. Okay, so first step is to go to create a new REPL again. So let's go home, again, replit.com, create a REPL. You can have a free account. I mean, I have the paid one, so I can use the Replit agent, but you don't need the paid account. You can just use free Replit. I guess we're gonna use Python again. Gonna name it NN animation, neural network animation. let's go back into ChatGPT. Import libraries. So let's copy this piece of code. This is going to go into the main.py Python file. It's underlined, so it's not installed in our project, so we would not need to put into shell, but honestly, yeah, ChatGPT tells us to do it. In the replit shell run pip install matplotlib. So shell is right here on the right. So this is basically the terminal, so let's put this in and install matplotlib, which is going to help us visualize the neural network. While that's going, let's go back. Define the neural network structure. We'll create a simple script. So I guess that's this. Copy. It includes the imports already. That's good. I don't think we have numpy either. Let's see. Pip install numpy. It is already satisfied. Okay, so it comes with the package. The predefined replit format. Okay, that's it. Deploy on replit, save the code, run the project. Ensure the output window shows the matplotlib animation. It might take a few seconds to load. Okay, so let's run. By the way, then we can also try like actually deploying on the web, and we get a custom domain from replit. Okay, so let's maximize the pane. And there is a neural network visualizer. It looks kind of scuffed. So maybe what I can do is I can take a screenshot of this, copy the clipboard, and tell it like this doesn't look right. The animation works, but it doesn't quite look like a neural network. This is another advantage of Canvas. You can just paste in images and have it see what you're seeing. And then this is the most satisfying part. It changes the code in real time to hopefully make that fit. Maybe I should have described it further. Like, you know, it's up like 90 degrees rotated. We'll see. So here I'm gonna replace the code with the new one. I'm gonna kill this. Stop. And then let's run it again. Okay, so this looks better for sure. We have the nodes or the neurons, but it's still, you know, rotated by 90 degrees basically. So maybe I should just describe it. You know, I'm gonna take a screenshot too, but I'm also gonna describe it manually, or like verbally. The neural network seems to be rotated by 90 degrees. Instead of extending horizontally, it's vertical. Not good. Fix that.
We've actually got a suggestion from Ben Chang. He says give it a screenshot of a neural network diagram from elsewhere.
So let's give it a good neural network image, maybe something like this. You know, we have the input layer, hidden layers, and the output layer. So let's go open image in new tab, copy that, ChatGPT. Here's what it okay, I'm gonna say you did a good job. However, the layers are still not quite right. The input and output layers should be the smallest, aka with the least amount of neurons. See attached image. And the middle hidden layers should have more neurons in them. Make the required changes.
David.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm an old bloke. I've got a good idea. I joined your group, paid your money, yeah? So I've gone through a lot of things, and I don't think I am capable, even though, you know, it seems simple. I think I'm capable of actually delivering or creating the product I need. How do I go? Is this the group for me? Or where do I go from here? So is this the group to help me navigate those waters? because a lot of this stuff you've hit me with today or tonight, they seem simple for you guys, yeah? But they're not, certainly not. I get stuck very quickly in this whole process, yeah?
Okay, let me tell you what to do when to get stuck, right? You simply ask. So if it's something web related, you ask Perplexity. Let me share a screen. Perplexity is best for searching the web. I get stuck too, right? It's not like I know these things from the back of my head, but I don't let myself get to those feelings of like, oh my God, I'm stuck, and like start stressing about it. I simply ask, I am getting this error X, Y, Z. I'm using Python, Matplotlib, cursor, whatever. What to do? I am a beginner. Please explain. Like, when you get stuck, use the AI tools, right? Don't let yourself get overwhelmed and get those, get that stress going. You can use ChatGPT,
So
you can use Perplexity.
I've been stuck for a few hours on indentation, for example, yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is I have ideas. I understand what's going on. I'm getting a handle on what the opportunity is. Do I just get stuck, or do I engage, help, work with somebody who can unstuck me a lot easier than me having to go from 0.1 Trevor to 0.4 Trevor, which might take me 4 years to do? Or do I let the opportunity rest?
I think I know what you're saying. So what you do is you make a post in the hiring category. Right here in the community, we have a category exactly for this, right? So you would make a post and you would describe exactly, I'm facing XYZ problem. I'm willing to hire someone to hop on a call and help me out. This is exactly what you can do, and you can make a post. You can write it in 60 seconds. And I'm willing to bet that there's going to be people that can help you out without paying. But obviously, if you're open to paying, you can put it into hiring category or into questions category if you have like specific questions. But this is exactly what the tab is for. This is what the new society is for, getting help from others, right? So instead of getting yourself stuck, just make a post, right? Reach out to a few people, see what people are saying. If you're willing to pay, make a post in the hiring, and people will jump on it. I mean, there's already plenty of posts of people willing to pay for stuff. So, for those who also looking for jobs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
look, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to work my way through these things, but I've got something I want to take to market in the next 3 or 4 months. That's all.
Yeah,
And
Trevor, let me rephrase something. It's not bad, right? Like you label the being stuck as bad, but also you get stuck when you learn new things, right? So the easiest way to never get stuck is to never learn anything, right? So like that's not a good thing. You need to, when you're learning new things, there will be feelings of like, okay, I don't know what's going on. I don't understand this, right? I'm getting overwhelmed. That just means that you're learning, like you're challenging yourself, right? If you were always like comfortable and chilling, then you're not learning anything. You're not pushing forward. So instead of like labeling those feelings as bad, just know, like, make a mental note. It's like, okay, I'm learning something new. It might be, too hard for me right now, but let's see in a week, in 2 weeks, in a month. Like every month we do these posts, right? Matti did one recently where we reflect on what happened in the last 30 days. If you think about back, you can do this for yourself, Trevor. Think about back a month, 2 months. How much more do you know about AI than back then, right? Probably a lot more. So it's easy to get overwhelmed in the moment and forget about everything you've learned. But when you look back, it's easy to see like how much better you are. So these posts exactly we do for this reason, right? People reflect on what they learned in the last 30 days. So that's why, that's the easiest way to like kind of escape the in the moment feeling and see like, okay, I'm actually making progress. And as you can see, it's like a lot of people,
David, I've made a lot of progress, and I'm a convert, and it's staggering, right? It's staggering what's out there. However, I've now identified, when I can see what's going on, a project that I need to fast forward. That's all. And for me to hold back on that project, so what I want to do is go forward, quickly, rather than me being going through baby steps. I want folks that can help me work through and share or whatever else in building something that I think is got potential, big potential. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is exactly the vision we have here, right? You're not the only one who has an idea and wants to turn it into reality. Like, many people here want to turn their AI idea into a startup, right? Build something, some product, and put it into the market. So that's like what we're trying to facilitate and make as easy as possible. And again, like if you're willing to hire somebody, just make a post about it in the hiring category. People will
Will do.
jump on it
Yep.
for sure.
No, will do. Thank you.
No worries. Okay, so this is the current neural network we have. It is more advanced, but it is still flipped incorrectly, I feel like. Let's give it one more shot. The entire neural network is still flipped by 90 degrees. Fix that.
Brennan says put the input neurons on the left and the output neurons on the right.
Okay, that's true. That's a good prompt. So let me actually copy that. Good job, Brennan. All right. Put the input neurons. All right. That should be better. Okay, but it's not changing much, so maybe it was solid. Let's try either way. Run. Okay, that's good. We just need to move these ones. Okay, let me maybe screenshot that. If we move these lower, we get the image we want, right? Like, this is kind of what we're striving for. So, I'm gonna say, well done. The rotation is now fixed. The last change I want is to move the top and bottom neurons in both the input and output layer a bit closer to the center so that it resembles the typical visual of a neural network more. In short, adjust the positions of the neurons in the input and output layers so that they're a bit closer to each other. Okay, so it's implementing those changes. Let's copy that. Boom. Run. And yeah, this is nice. So we've been able to do it in, let's say, like what, 7 to 10 prompts. Obviously it wasn't first try, but it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Okay, maybe we should say like design a simple web page and show it in a canvas view. I don't know if it can show any code. Or, like if it can actually visualize what it created.
Yeah, I tried and it didn't fully work. Perhaps it came with something other than Python.
But this is HTML.
Well, yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't get more basic than HTML. So, I'm not sure. Okay. But maybe it can't do it. I don't know. Again, the tool just came out, so I haven't tested it enough. Can you actually show how the HTML would look like on a web page? Again, we can easily deploy it, inside of Replit, but I just want to see. I cannot directly render the web page here. All right.
Yeah, so that's the same thing I got.
So this is more for development, but it's still in beta, right? So maybe they will add that feature, and I'm pretty sure they will, because if I ask the exact same prompt inside of Claude, it can visualize it. Let me copy this. And obviously I need to replace canvas with artifacts, because that's the name. Design a simple web page and show it in artifacts view. Boom. But yeah, as you can see, like Claude can actually visualize it as well. So you have the preview, right? It has preview and its code. So I guess this is one feature that OpenAI still needs to implement, but I wouldn't be surprised if they implemented this in the next few weeks, to be honest. So it's, nothing crazy. And it's very useful to be able to see exactly what you've coded. Like right now we had to switch between Replit and ChatGPT. If they had this feature, we wouldn't have to do that. We could just, use artifacts or use Canvas, as it's called in ChatGPT, to build it and also see it, how it looks like. So yeah, Claude definitely has an advantage here. That's why I recommend having multiple AI subscriptions, right? Like Claude is still a great tool and I use it all the time, literally every day. So it's not like ChatGPT is the end all be all. However, if I had to pick one, I would pick ChatGPT right now, for sure. ChatGPT Plus, highest value AI subscription. Thank you guys for attending today's call. Hope you're having a great weekend. I appreciate the time that you take your weekend to spend with me and learn more about AI. Hopefully you found it valuable and see you next week. Bye.